When we started the contest and decided to make the sustainable dress, I really thought that it would be kind of a no-brainer. Sustainability is a tiny percentage of what's happening in the fashion world.
Red Carpet Green Dress was conceived to bring global awareness to the positive fashion movement. It's an innovative campaign where winning designs are constructed and worn by an actress and actor on the Oscars red carpet. Starting back in 2010, Red Carpet Green Dress has successfully shown and proven that a glamorous design can be sourced and built for the means of an environmental and socially responsible standard. Industry's awareness and designer demand for positive fashion is showing more in stores and on the runway. However, the pro-profit paradigm exposes challenges with creating environmentally safe textiles which don't pollute and contaminate our rivers. Positive fashion has a long way to go, but Red Carpet Green Dress aims to work collaboratively with brands through knowledge sharing to achieve this shared vision.
Red Carpet Green Dress is a wonderful fundraising tool for Muse, and Suzy is incredibly passionate about this school.
I really wanted to start a school that focused on sustainability and the environment. I started a global dress design contest called Red Carpet Green Dress as a fundraiser, but the criteria behind it is actually within our mission statement around sustainability, creating an Oscar-worthy gown out of sustainable fabrics. And it's a global dress design contest, which also fits into the fact that the school is global as well.
We have this one dress on this carpet that's kind of the most watched fashion carpet in the world. It's the Oscars. Can one dress inspire change? Can one contest inspire movement? I mean, can it really do that just through this one essential project, or is it always about the mass way of thinking?
Tell me about this dress. It's a little bit Oscar-inspired.
It's part of the Red Carpet Green Dress, and Michael Badger was the winner of that competition. And it's a competition to come up with a sustainable dress design. And this is made from organic silk and dyed in chamomile and goldenrod with no chemicals whatsoever, and with vintage beads from the 20s and 30s, and partly recycled material as well.
You would never guess this is a recycled materials dress.
Never, right? It's brilliant.
You actually could have a gorgeous gown that was also eco-friendly. And something as visible as a red carpet is the perfect place to kind of highlight that and to transform a gorgeous woman into a gorgeous, conscious woman.
You're showing in a really tangible way how, like right now in 2013, at the Oscars, it's possible to create a dress that's so kind of conscious fashion, but it's beautiful fashion as well. And I think that's really, really inspiring for people to see, and the story about how you've done that is also kind of really inspiring.
One of the really important parts of the Red Carpet Green Dress is the fact that you have this global community submitting ideas and designs, and we also have a direct link to the manufacturers, to the designers, to the seamstresses, so we know how things are being made.
One of my reasons for getting involved in this scheme is that it's incredibly difficult to source. It's impossible for me to source what's eco-friendly or not. I have to rely on manufacturers showing me things.
You know, it always has to be about design first, you know, and then it's price point, and then it's how it's made and what it's made of.
Fashion is, you know, renowned for being such a creative industry, and we want to see people using their creativity, you know, to do things in a more sustainable way and to do things in a way that really kind of lasts.
It's one thing to do a drawing, and then it's another thing to get that drawing exactly how you had it in mind. You have to constantly change, and if you change one thing, you usually have to change everything.
When we were doing the beading, and we got this interesting suggestion from Westwood to incorporate chocolate wrappers, gold chocolate wrappers. And initially, because we were in such a time crunch, that to sort of re-visualize adding something as far out as that into the design was sort of difficult at first, but oh my god, it's had such an amazing, added such an amazing quality to the design. And it also goes back to the idea of reusing what is already existing and sort of doing more with less, I guess.
The process has been really interesting for me as well because, like a script, I didn't realise just how much change and fluidity there is involved in that. It's not a straight transition from the design to the completed dress.
I mean, the first year, I was in a huge panic because I couldn't find fabric. I had no idea how difficult it was going to be. But every year, it gets a little bit easier.
When you're looking at something like a green dress, it's really important that people demand clothing that's made in better facilities, out of better materials, with better dyes, and also better reclamation of those dyes.
So Perkin discovered artificial mauve in 1860, what year, what 1860 it was. They found you could do red, you could use alizarin, artificial alizarin, and so on.
Back to the medieval process, that was known as exhaust baths. So you were literally exhausting the colour.
Instead of pouring out every batch, going from lighter to darker.
Yes, absolutely. Doing what we used to, well, again, taking it up with lighter and lighter dyes. And then at certain times in Europe, you would actually have to throw out the water on your front step. So anyone could see if you were being profligate and you still had colour in it. But there are some people still using natural dyes.
It's like a lot of these sort of handcraft things, especially in this country where the Industrial Revolution was so complete that people just forgot everything. And in fact, the discovery of synthetic colour,
it took about 20 years for everything to become synthetic.
I looked at the history of dyeing and the issues for those living around places where dyeing happens.
Yes.
People generally had to live in a different part of town to where the dyers lived.
Right.
Because of the discharge into the water.
Right, into the rivers and all the waterways.
But now, because centres of population are so busy, it's very difficult for people to live in different parts of a city and they're having to use the same water.
As before, it was just pro-profit, and that was the driving force for companies. But now, I think the pressure and the onus being from consumers and individuals, and that we're putting on these companies and saying, well, now you have to consider pro-people and pro-planet.
I believe we're dangerously short of culture. We've been living in a consumer society and we don't have much taste and we're just used to just sucking things up without discrimination.
Lots of major fashion brands basically have chemicals contained within the fabric of the clothes that we buy, and what happens is that basically means that they're using chemicals to make our clothes, and then they're carried in the clothes, kind of transported around the world, and then when people wash these clothes, the chemicals actually flow out and go into our local river systems as well.
The questions are happening where the garments are coming from and how they're made, and that process is happening.
It's actually very easy to unite people around it. It's like, do you want toxic chemicals in your water? No. Do you want them in your clothes? No. Do you want them in the clothes your children are wearing? No. You know, no one says yes.
What a huge, important thing it is for people to start thinking differently about not just a beautiful dress to wear on a red carpet, but the fact that we wear clothes every single day. And the way clothes are being manufactured is not only hurting our biosphere, our planet, but also our bodies.
I suppose you've always got that kind of feel-good factor when you know that the fabric's been produced in a way that's less harmful to the environment. It hasn't been processed with really toxic dyes. It's been handled well. There's the fair trade element, and when you think about all of that, it's kind of like putting good karma into your design.
In order to understand the present, we have to understand the past. We have to understand the genius of the human race and what's great about it, so that we can always aspire to evolve into something finer and better and more incredible, because we're the most incredible animal on Earth.